We finally have the release and our first show of Super Boxing. Callum Walsh, the young, hungry, slick southpaw Irishman, against the rough and tough seasoned veteran at world level, Ocampo. Decent headliner for that Egghead's first show, but all in all, he will ruin boxing. Now, Walsh is crafty, he has very slick moves like hitting him with that left hand while parrying in his hand, and then using that other hand, his lead hand, to lift him down and then open up for that uppercut if he needs to. And you'll see when he covers up the uppercut there, he leans towards one side, but that guard is still high to his chin, and he does what he needs to do, works in, lets Fernando, shuffle about, reset, and while he's about to commit, Walsh catches him on a counter because he can see it from a mile away, where in this fight, he showed the levels between someone who's world level with potential to go to the top, to someone who's just about domestic level still. Where with Walsh, his counter punching, his skills, his defense, his head movement, his ring generalship, that is what caused Fernando Vargas's problems, especially here when he landed here, and before that when Vargas committed, he missed. Now this fight against Carson Jones, in my eyes, proved he is the real deal. Landing great shots like this and then moving out of range, and you'll see here the sneaky right chopping hand when he pivots out. Very sneaky, very slight and precise, and makes him stumble, and then he eventually got him out of there because he was just on a different level. Now you see here, on the back foot, great shot, and then he moves them, he hits them, makes them moves, make them pay, then put them on the back foot and batter them pillar to post. That is Callum Walsh's game, and that is what other fighters struggle with. Now you see the way he sets up this knockout is unreal. He feints and then he makes him commit, and then that right hand over the top while he's committing, catching him while he's throwing mid-throw, and then boom, he was on the floor. Lights out, nights out, and goodbye to Dean Sutherland that day. Now, the right chopping hand didn't fully extend, didn't fully commit, just little chopping hand right on the temple, and he gets caught. What happens early in the fight, or later in the fight I should say, same thing happens, he gets dropped. Then what did the finish happen? Right there, right chopping hand, same spot, and the left hook to clean out the day. He doesn't learn from his mistakes defensively, Ocampo. He's a good offensively, and you see here with Spence, landing them shots, but he leaves openings from his head to his body, which is how Spence end up stopping him in a round, but in a different fashion by breaking him down to the body. So this is one thing where he needs to work, because defensively he's a bit of a shambles. But this fight against Fundura, a close competitive fight, this is the blueprint in my eyes, because this is the way he can beat Walsh, by being a taller, bigger range, and much better technical fighter. Working under, landing in the inside, head, body, when Fundura tries to work with his long reach, make him give up his reach. So when he smothers his work on the inside because there's no quality, you counter, you have the eyes on the judges, and then you land the bigger, devastating shots, a bit like what Ocampo did. But again, you need to take two to land three against someone like that. Then the left hand, the key, catch him square on, but Fundura took it. You can do that against someone like Walsh, like what Fernando Vargas did, although it was a light little jab to the body, and score a little knockdown from catching him square on like he did against Fundura, although that should have been a knockdown, but it never got scored. But overall, that's the blueprint. But the three main key victories: land and smother counters from Walsh, as I said, do your shots, make him counter, but then make him smother his work when he does on the inside. Let him give up that range before committing, because then he leaves very much openings for Ocampo to counter and just pressurize and put on the back foot, but win them early rounds to build momentum. That is the key. Don't be a slow starter, because Walsh will nab them rounds and you won't be in the fight or in your rhythm. Where with Walsh, tee up and pivot, land them shots, use your range. Once you land your shot, pivot out. Don't stand there like a lemon and admire your work. Ocampo will fire away at you. Straight shots to land first, because Ocampo's a bit wide, so straight shots obviously eliminate some wide hooks, and then mix in the middle and boxing spells. He can brawl, he can mix in the middle, but use your technicality to do clean work on the outside, and then use your mix in the middle, sort of, as I say, mid to high volume output is when to mix in the middle. Don't do it just for no reason. Do it when it's key, calculated, and you see openings where you can see the finish, and then when you do, that's when you break him down. That's when you go head body, and then the rest is history. Now, in my eyes, this is a poor cherry pick. Callum Walsh, he's a tough, undefeated Irishman who I do think will go to the top where Ocampo. He is a seasoned veteran, and on paper, like I said at the beginning, it is a good fight. But if you break them both down stylistically, this is a very one-sided fight. Very, very one-sided fight. as Walsh's kryptonite is Ocampo's style, and I do believe Walsh will be the man to get him out of there. Ocampo, he's proved he's tough, but again, being too tough is what got him stopped against Spence. That's what got him stopped being broken down to the body by Spence. That's what got Tim Tszyu landing in right hands with no defensive mind in your head, and then that got you stopped in the first. And that is why Walsh will do the exact same in whatever fashion he wants, whether it's early or late, he will get him out of there. And after the fight, I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, this was a clear cherry pick. It's an easy fight. I don't know why he fought Ocampo. Ocampo's a good seasoned veteran. Walsh hasn't fought anyone that's decent, notably, besides a domestic veteran of Fernando Farigas, who obviously has a big name because of his brothers and his dad. But Callum Walsh is a different level. He will show that on the night, and he will stop him in brutal fashion, whether he breaks him down, stops him late, or whether he sparks his chin or breaks him to the body early on. The choice is his. Easy fight. Callum Walsh is the real deal, and it's again, well done to that egghead for putting a good show and a good main event for his first fight, but super boxing won't last, and that is all I got to say. Besides the most obvious, this ain't financial advice. This is what I'm going to be predicting and what I'm going to be backing based off my research. Have a great day, boys.